Hello all, my name is Krishnayak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today in this particular video, we'll be discussing about anomaly detection using Pycaret open source library. Again, I'm exploring this particular library a lot, and whenever I find a very good use case, I'm actually uploading a video regarding that, because this actually makes your, whenever you're actually trying to perform anomaly detection, it makes your work pretty much easier. Okay. And again, guys, I'll be giving you both the code link. Apart from that, I'll also be giving you this particular URL so that you can refer what are the different anomaly techniques that this Pycaret open source library also use. So let us go ahead. Now, first of all, just to understand what is anomaly detection. Guys, Pycaret's anomaly detection module, it is basically a module in this particular case. And anomaly detection is a use case itself, right? It is an unsupervised machine learning model that is used for identifying rare items, events, or observations which raise suspicions by different significantly from the majority of the data. The best example is bank fraud, structural defect, medical problems, or different kind of errors. These are right now, this anomaly detection algorithm is heavily used in banking industries, in banking stuff, whereas in manufacturing industries, and if I take some more examples, right, in network traffic companies also, right? So they are used in many such use cases. Now, if I talk about banking domain, right, you'll be able to find out that there are a lot of fraud transactions there that is actually happening, because there will be so many transactions. And out of those transactions, how do you determine the fraud transaction? That is pretty much important, right? In the case of network traffic, companies where they are actually having a huge product like routing products, or where they see a lot of traffic coming through their particular websites through various means, right? At that time, in order to determine from those traffic which is anomaly, basically which is a fraud one, or is that traffic coming from a different source, like kind of a hacking kind of stuff, right? So it will actually help you to do this kind of anomaly detection, and it is a wonderful use case, guys. And again, remember, this is an unsupervised machine learning technique. You will be getting the data, like you will be getting all the transaction data, and out of those transaction data, you need to just pick the fraud transaction data. And again, just understand, if it is unsupervised machine learning, it is very, very difficult to actually do that particular work. Now, Pycaret again has come up with a wonderful open source. This is an open source library which will help you to do that, right? So first of all, in order to start with, guys, make sure that you go to your Anaconda prompt, right? And just create a new environment. Suppose I have actually created an environment called as NLP, right? So inside this particular environment, and make sure that if you're installing Pycaret, first of all, you create a new environment. Don't do it in base. It is always a good practice that whenever you start any project, it is better that you create a new environment. And if you have been seeing my videos from many days, right, I usually, whenever I upload any project sessions, I usually create a new environment itself. And I think you should know how to create a new environment if you're already learning from it, right? Otherwise, just go and search in the Google saying that Conda create new environment, right? Just go and search in this particular thing, environment Python.3.6. You'll be getting a command, and by that you'll be able to do it. So once you do it, you just have to write pip install Pycaret, right? That's it. You just have to type this particular command, and automatically the installation of Pycaret will happen, right? Now, many of you will be facing these issues probably because you are actually installing it in your base environment. Don't do that. Create a new environment and install the Pycaret library over there. And this is an amazing open source library, guys, because it will definitely help you to do your work a little bit faster when compared to the previous techniques that we used to do, right? Now, let us go ahead and try to start what we are actually doing. Now, we have a data set which is called as Anomaly. Now, in this particular Anomaly data set, guys, I'll just show you the data set of what it is. And anytime if you want to know about the description, you can actually go into this particular page. And again, the link will be given in the description of this particular video. Now, at the first time, we need to set up the environment, which we have already done. Now, after that, there is a function which is called as setup, okay? And initially, you will try to import the data set, because there is an inbuilt data set which is called as Anomaly inside Pycaret. So in order to call that data set, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write from pycaret.datasets import get underscore data. Anomaly is equal to get underscore data, and in the parameter I'm giving it as anomaly. This is the dataset name, right? So after that, whenever you want to apply a classification algorithm or a regression algorithm, you need to import from pycaret.classification import star, or if you are trying to do it with respect to regression, you have to write pycaret.regression import star. Now, in this particular case, it is anomaly. Anomaly is a different module that is created by Python. So I'm going to write from pycaret.anomaly import star. Okay. And initially we do this particular setup. Now, what does this setup mean? Let's go to this particular what this setup function does. In setup, it takes a lot of parameters. First is the data, which is in the form of data frame. All the feature engineering steps can be actually done by providing just the parameters inside this particular setup. Now, what kind of feature engineering stuff? If you want to handle category features, right? If you want to handle category imputation, suppose there are a lot of NaN values in a category feature, then you want to follow some imputation technique. You can basically put this particular value. By default, it will be constant. That basically means if it finds a NaN value, it will replace it with a new constant category feature, right? It also handles ordinary features, high cardinality features, numeric features, numeric imputation. So if there is a numerical column and if there are a lot of NaN values, by default, it is going to use this mean technique. You can also change it to median and mode. It is up to you. And again, for that, you just have to see the data that you actually have and how the data distribution is. Okay. Then you also have something like normalize. So normalize, that in case of, if I take an example of k-means clustering, or if I take an example of linear regression, logistic regression, at that time I have to set this normalized value as true. By default, it is actually set to false. So it is going to scale down those features. And there is also like a normalized method. Once we set the normalize is equal to true, we also need to set this particular method. And this particular method by default is z-score. And the z-score formula is nothing but x minus mu. Mu is basically the mean divided by standard deviation. I hope I've already uploaded these videos in my stats playlist. You can actually go and watch. So this particular normalization method, when it is scaling down all the features, it is going to use this z-score technique. Other than that, you can also set with respect to min-max, max, EBS, robust, and many more techniques are there, as we all know, right? Min-max actually converts your values between 0 to 1, and other things are also present over here. Now, with respect to this, you also have PCA technique, whether you want to implement principal component analysis, that is dimensionality reduction, and by default over here it is linear. So linear, it usually performs this linear dimensionality reduction. If you know this, I think you should be knowing this because it is pretty much important. Apart from that, how many PCA underscore components you want, and a lot of more parameters are there. Okay, this is a wonderful parameter. Remove multicollinearity. As I told you that this particular feature will actually help you to do the feature selection. If two features have a huge way, if the two features are more similar, at that time what will happen? The correlation will be quite high, right? So in that particular case, those two are actually collinear with each other. So we'll try to remove those kind of features which are actually highly correlated, right? So by default, it's set to false, but we'll try to set to true in order to solve this particular problem. And again, you can actually explore. There's so many parameters as such. So right now, by default, whatever is the default value, I'm trying to do it. And you'll be able to see that you'll be getting all these kind of descriptions. You'll be able to see that what all values we have been set for missing value, numerical features, ordinal features, false, true is there. Now, once it is executed, I'll just go. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just go and see this particular data set, which is anomaly. And again, I told you guys this particular technique is an unsupervised machine learning technique. Okay, I'm just getting an error. Oh, sorry, spelling mistake with respect to anomaly. Probably, I think I've made a no. That's fine. Now, this is my data set. Okay, and this is just an anomaly data set. You have a lot of values with respect to 10 columns, and out of this, we need to find out which record is is an anomaly. It's kind of like a fraud data that is actually present when compared to the whole group of data, right? By just seeing this, we cannot definitely see which record is actually fraud. So let's go ahead and try to see this and how to solve it. Okay, now the next thing is that we have an inbuilt function inside this anomaly which is called as create model, And the type of technique I'm going to use is called as iForest. Now, from where did I get all these particular parameters? If you go over here, guys, when we're creating the model, there are a lot of techniques like iForest, cluster, KNN, histograms, histogram-based outlier detection, clustering-based local outlier, connectivity-based local outlier, outlier factor, isolation forest. A lot of techniques are there, and probably this many techniques you may also not be knowing with respect to anomaly detection, right? So there are a lot of things that we probably do not know with respect to outlier detection, but this particular library gives you all the particular option, right? So you can select one of them, just try with isolation forest, and then again we can also compare with other by seeing the visualization diagram. So isolation forest, what I can also do is that I can go and see, I can actually go and see for isolation forest and k nearest neighbor, and then I can actually compare like how many have been grouped as zeros, how many have grouped as one, right? That will basically indicate whether it is a fraud or not, right? So right now I'm just using iForest. I'll just copy this same term iForest and paste it over here. Then you can see that I will be using plot underscore model, which is again an inbuilt function inside Pycaret. And here I'm just going to give this particular model iForest. Now, when I do create model with iForest, this internally is going to take this particular data that is called as anomaly, right? Because I have actually made this setup over here, right? Because of this setup, this variable is getting created, and this in turn is actually taken by this particular library that is iForest as the data, right? So when I do create underscore model and when I do plot underscore model iForest, I am going to see a visualization diagram, right? Now, as you know that we had around 10 features over here, right? And trust me, guys, to just create a three-dimensional diagram by using Python or other libraries like Seaborn, it is a very difficult task. Now, this yellow points, right? Yellow points that you see, there are two type categories, 1 and 0, right? This 1 basically indicates that it is fraudulent data, okay? And 0 is basically indicate that it is not a fraudulent data. So obviously, in our case, you can see that there are a lot of non-fraudulent data, whereas there are very less number of fraudulent data, like this yellow points that you actually see. And here we are using a technique called as isolation forest, right? Amazing diagram. You can see that clearly it is visible in a proper way, and it looks amazing with respect to this particular diagram that you see on the right hand side, which actually denotes the color indication. Now, you can also try with KNN. KNN, if you see over here, guys, KNN is also one parameter which we can actually use for anomaly detection, that is k nearest neighbor detector. Now, what I'm going to do is that with respect to KNN, if I try to execute the same thing, right, you can see now this is how my diagram looks like. And again, you can clearly see over here this particular points which is treated as the fraud detector is quite far away from the similar points that is actually present over here. So these all are my good points, these are my bad points, right? So again, always remember the bad points will be actually very, very less. Then I can also use that same KNN model. Sorry for this. If I zoom in, this is how my data looks like, and you can see a wonderful 3D diagram, right? Amazing 3D diagram. Like, trust me, this when you're creating with Seaborn and all, you will notice how much new problems will be there. Okay, so let's go up, and you can see that I've created this particular model KNN, and now I'm just going to do predict underscore model, and I'm giving the same data as anomaly. Once I see the KNN prediction, I'll be able to see whether it is assigned to label 0 and 1. And remember, 1 is nothing but that yellow points which you have actually seen. So this is an amazing way, so quickly, just by writing 6 lines of code, 6 to 7 lines of code, I was able to solve this particular problem. And I even tried this for Kaggle competition, guys, with respect to credit card anomaly, and the result was again pretty much amazing, right? Now, what you have to do is that just try with other techniques like local outlier factor, one class SVM detector, and try to compare this label, like this KNN prediction, try to compare with whatever prediction that you get with respect to iForest, right? And try to compare, try to find out the confusion matrix, how good it is, right? Just consider y and y hat, and then you just construct a confusion matrix. This is a part of a homework that I want to give it to you. In my next video, I'm also going to come up with clustering problem statement with the help of Pycaret, and I've already created a separate playlist. The playlist link will also be given in the description of this particular video with respect to Pycaret. You can actually follow that. And yes, this was all about this particular video. I hope you like it. Please do subscribe the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you one and all. Bye bye.